What's going on? So, before I begin, I just want to say I have my own opinion about hip-hop, rap music, and I'm going to let you all know in this video. And if you disagree with whatever I have to say, you know what I'm saying, feel free to comment in the comment section of this video, elaborate, let me know what you think. Let me get you all's opinion. Other than that, let's begin. So, hip-hop was established in New York. That's a fact. But, hip-hop, the culture, far as the different art forms actually existed prior to the establishment of hip-hop, in our black music. You know what I'm saying? We were breakdancing, we were rhyming, we were doing all of the things that hip-hop consists of prior to, it being established in New York. You know what I'm saying? When you look at artists such as James Brown, Gil Scott-Heron, and the list goes on of people that were rhyming and breakdancing and just performing. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, true indeed. Hip-hop was established in New York, but it's black culture, it's black music, and we were doing hip-hop prior to New York. You understand? So, in other words, there's no type of ownership when it comes to hip-hop. Far as dealing with the black culture, like any and everyone that's black can do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, for those, I'm not being racist now. For those that are non-black, they're guests. They're visitors. And this is the problem. And I'm getting to the point. I'm making it relevant. Just hear me out. This is the problem that we're having nowadays. There's no rules, guidelines that non-blacks, or rather blacks that's in the culture, have to obey. And this is the reason why, one of the reasons why hip-hop or rap music has spiraled out of control. Because there's no rules and regulations to it. You understand? But, when it comes to non-blacks, they can participate, but they don't get to dictate our culture, our music. That plain and simple. So, the reason why I'm saying this is because, New York was running hip-hop or rap music for a long time. For a long time. And I was there. I was there to see the birth of West Coast music and the South. As well as, Midwest or like Texas and New Orleans and all of those areas, those states. I was there to see that too. And I can tell you, man, I got a sip on this one, that New York was very much selfish in the very beginning. They did not want to give up hip hop. They did not respect other people that was blacks that were doing hip hop their way. You know what I'm saying? West Coast came up. They had NWA and Dr. Dre and Snoop Doggy Dogg and the Dogg Pound and all of that. New York, I was living in New York at the time. New York wasn't really accepting to that. But they had to give it up. Snoop Dogg was too big. NWA was too big. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in New York bumping Snoop. You know what I'm saying? But New York hardly gave it up. They had to because, the West Coast was selling albums. And people in the East Coast loved them. They had to give it up. But I'm going to tell you one. I don't want to say genre, but for the sake of the conversation, one genre of rap music that they did not want to give it up to, and they definitely bashed and disrespected this genre of music, was the South. And if New Yorkers want to sit here and argue with me like, B, da-da-da-da-da, this and that, so forth, I lived in New York when the South was coming up, as well as in the South. And New Yorkers wasn't having it. Wasn't having it. And you all know that I'm right. New Yorkers was like, yo, the South is slow and dumb. Y'all know that. New Yorkers were saying that for the longest. I used to come up, like when I moved to North Carolina, and then I started, I did the opposite, you know what I'm saying? So when I was living in New York, I used to visit my grandparents and my mother's side of the family down south for the summers. But then when I moved down south, I used to visit my father and my father's side of the family in New York for the summers and holidays. And let me tell you something. Every time I would come up to New York, they would call me a Bama. They'd be like, oh, you from the South, this and that and so forth. Now, taking heed, I really didn't listen to the South music, to Southern music at first. I really didn't, you know what I'm saying? Because I was so, such a New Yorker, to the point where I didn't really give Southern music a chance, specifically rap music. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until Outkast came around when I was like, okay, they on to something. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are not only lyrical, but they're innovating hip-hop. They're changing hip-hop in the most positive way. You know what I'm saying? And I started to see, the South merge into this, genre of music that had to be respected. So in other words, what I'm saying, the South demanded respect. They had to fight, I tell you, to get to where they are right now. Because New Yorkers, they were the gatekeepers to hip hop. They wasn't having it. You understand? And the rappers that paved the way for the South. And I know some of you all are gonna sit back and say, well, I don't think this is true, and da. Like I said before, you can have your opinion in the comment section of this video. But the ones that paved the way for other Southern rappers, you know what I'm saying, to come in was Atlanta rappers such as Outkast, Goody Mob, the whole Dungeon family, Jermaine Dupri. Let's not even let me tell you, let me just give you a few people Jermaine Dupri is responsible for producing. Usher, Criss Cross, Escape, Alicia Keys, Mariah Carey, Bow Wow, Jagged Edge, Da Brat. The list goes on. And a side note, really, Jermaine Dupri should be ours. And what I mean by Jermaine Dupri should be ours, he was born in Asheville, North Carolina. Should I just throw that out? But technically, he was born in Asheville, North Carolina, but he was raised in College Park. And then technically that's not even Atlanta. But listen, Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? So Jermaine Dupri, they're the ones that pushed, you know what I'm saying, the Southern genre of hip hop or rap music to the top. And you can't deny it. You can't deny ATL rappers. Straight up, I have a list of ATL rappers that like really kind of like, you know what I'm saying, innovated or paved the way, are just, decent rappers. You know what I'm saying? They may not be the most lyrical, but they are, you know what I'm saying, top selling, great performers. You know what I'm saying? I just listed a few. Like, it's so many ATL rappers till it's ridiculous, but I just listed a few. So we got Goody Mob. Let's do CeeLo Green, please. CeeLo Green from Goody Mob. And then Goody Mob overall. We got Outkast, Andre 3000. Come on. One of the best rappers on the planet. We got T.I., Future, Childish Gambino, Gucci Mane, 21 Savage, Jermaine Dupri, Migos, Earth Gang, Killer Mike, Lil Baby, Lil Jon, Ludacris, Pastor Troy, 2 Chainz, Jeezy, Ying Yang Twins, Young Thug. The list goes on. So if someone would have asked me, yo man, did Atlanta rappers or Atlanta rap music ruin hip hop? The answer is no. They did. So many great groups came out of Atlanta till it's ridiculous. So many rap groups, single artists, R&B singers, R&B groups have came out of Atlanta till it's ridiculous. See, I know what some of you all are, were going to say, before I began. Oh, here we go. He bashing Atlanta again. No, Atlanta is a creative city. A talented city. Straight up. Now, I know y'all going to be like, oh, well, what about the mumble music? And what about the rap rappers and this and that and so forth? We had them in the 90s. Everyone has whack artists in their generations. When disco was out, everybody was trying to do disco. Like, take for example, Donna Summers was like, the shit when it came to discos, disco singers, right? And I'm pretty sure that you had 20,000 other people that was trying to do disco disco just like Donna Summer was. When Das EFX came out, you had everybody going biggity back and all of that. In the 90s, we had whack rappers as well. Period. There were whack rappers that came out of New York, just like there are whack rappers that can't come out of ATL, that have bit off of people such as the Migos, Goody Mob, Outkast, and the list goes on. But the real artists prevail. The real ones. You understand? So, no, in my opinion, I don't think that ATL rappers or ATL rap music ruined hip-hop. No, it didn't. If anything, it innovated. It took hip-hop to the next level. Because New York, just because it was established in New York, doesn't mean that everybody had to rap like New Yorkers had to rap. It took me a long time to realize that. Doesn't mean that everybody gotta rhyme over a boom bap track. It took a long time for me to realize that. And this is what's so profound about black people, specifically our music, because we produce so many different sounds till it's ridiculous. But the problem is it's all about acceptance. Like, we have to accept that Southern music is here and it's here to stay, as well as New York music and the Philly sound, Chicago, Los Angeles, Texas, New Orleans, and the list goes on. I remember when I was in a club, I used to be in a club in the 90s, man, it was so diverse. It was so diverse. First you had your hip hop, and then they mixed in with the go-go music. What happened to go-go music, man? What happened to reggae? When they play reggae, you know what I'm saying? What happened to that? When we were in the clubs in the 90s, we heard regular hip hop. We heard hip hop mixed in with reggae. Then it was blend music. You know what I'm saying? You would have an R&B singer singing over a hip hop beat. Then you had reggae meshed in with it. Then you had go-go, get in the water, and then you had house music. I'm not trying to be funny, I'm just being real. Why did we allow non-blacks to take over house music? I'll wait. Straight up. Why do we allow that? Why do we allow non-blacks to take over our culture, our music? Why do we allow that? Straight up. That's what you call cultural appropriation. Real talk. Now, my hat goes off to the Africans that took house music and did it the right way, which is I'm a piano. I listen to that all day, every day. They took house music and they innovated it. They took it to the next level. But yeah, man, you know, I know I went on somewhat of a tangent, but nah. ATL rap music, nah, man, it didn't ruin hip hop. It didn't. I'm gonna tell you who really ruined hip hop. White business execs. The white record labels ruined hip hop. That plain and simple. And see, what we do is we come out with, you know, the product, right? Let's use example for Migos, you know, the rap group, Migos, right? They had this type of flow. So what white record labels do, and this is like regular business 101. Everybody does it across the board. Food industry, movie industry, music industry, all of them do the same. They practice the same shit, right? So Migos, you got the flow, you got the beat, the certain type beat, style, etc., right? So what white record labels do is they see that works and they duplicate it. They come up with their version because they see that works. That method, that way, the Migos flow, the style, the music, etc. You know what I'm saying? They see that works and they'll use it they'll use it with another group. You know, it's like I put it to you like this to make it like really, really like simple, right? You go into a grocery store, right? And you'll see Chips Ahoy cookies, right? And you're like, yo, man, I want to get Chips Ahoy cookies. But then you have other cookies that's there that's probably named Chips O'Boy or Chips A-Go or something like that. And it looks just like the Chips Ahoy cookie, right? But it's not. Companies will see that Chips Ahoy cookies sell, so they duplicate it. And the cookie that they duplicate may not be as good as the Chips Ahoy cookie. But they don't give a fuck. They in it for the money. And once people stop buying it, they'll just change up to something else. And change to something else and change to something else. You know what I'm saying? So that's similar to how the record labels work. You know what I'm saying? They see a rap artist that's making millions upon millions upon millions, and they'll find themselves a rap artist. And they'll try to duplicate the same thing they see this successful rap artist doing. Whether it's the flow that this successful rap artist is using, the style of, you know, fashion, performance, etc. So if you want to blame anyone for ruining hip-hop to where it's at right now, blame white record labels. Straight up. Because they really truly believe that they know what we want to listen to. This is the reason why you continue to hear the same shit day after day after day after day. Sex, drugs, and violence, and then the same beat and the same flow. Straight up. So no, I don't think that ATL ruined, you know what I'm saying, hip-hop. No, I don't. I told you all who I think ruined it. It's just that plain and simple. And I'm not changing it. Straight up. I do have my pet peeves when it comes to Atlanta. But I would never deny, never in my life will I deny that Atlanta doesn't have talent. I would never say nothing like that. I would never deny their talent. Never. Atlanta is a place where there's so many talented people, so many creative people till it's ridiculous. You understand? You know, it is the Black Mecca of the South when it comes to creativity and artistry. Straight up. That plain and simple. Other than that, my name is Langston2092. Once you like, comment, subscribe, definitely share this video.